Hi everyone, I'm back with another wall hanging in a series that I decided to do of vintage inspired or Victorian inspired images. And this is the image I picked for this one, and I think it's just beautiful, and I love the shades of green. So let me start. I'll turn it over. And the first thing I did was I used a green tea dyed fabric doily, which you've seen. I'll probably use these on my series, on all my series in this, because I do have a few more. So I started off with that, and then I added this other doily back here, which you can't really even see, and it's just a regular crochet doily. And then on top of that I added this Battenberg doily, which you don't see too much of that either, but that's okay. It's mainly for stability for the wall hanging. And then the next thing I did was I added some batting underneath the image, and I put the image down. And then I used this doily that I had cut, and here's one of them. I just cut out the middle, I slit it open, and then I just used it to frame part of the image, and I just manipulated it so that it would go around the square image. The next thing I did was I put these, I'm not sure what you call this kind of dangle trim. If I knew what it was, it's escaped me. But I put the green down first, and the green has some beads to it. And then I put the gold after that, and these were given to me by Virginia 1468 here on YouTube. And so that went to frame the bottom part. And then the next part, I used this rose dangle piece, also from Virginia, and that I manipulated to cover this side. And then on the flowers on the middle dangle, I added the little walk acrylic with the rhinestone in the middle of it. Excuse me. And then on this side, I added this loopy flower that was made for me by Lily Lineca, and underneath that I started off with these, they were avocado dyed leaves, and those I got from Bonnie, Sassy Scrappers. And then I cut in half one of these daisy appliques that I had avocado dyed, and then I put both of them actually be a little bit behind the loopy flower. To this one I just added a pearl, and to this one I added the pearl and rhinestone for the centers. And then I added the violin in the corner. And then underneath, I actually did this last, and usually I don't do that. Usually this would have been one of the first things I did, but it was almost like an afterthought. I added this little doily piece here, and this is an antique doily piece, and I had found it in an antique shop. And then I took this doily here was part of a runner. Actually, here's the runner, and it had some stains on it, so I didn't mind cutting it up. But what I did was I cut up 3, and I left them intact so that I could add these to the bottom and let them hang. And then I added one of, this was a different middle. I thought I had used the middle of the doily that I had cut, but then I realized I didn't, but that's okay. I just added this doily over the braid that I'm using for, to actually hang it. And this had been green tea dyed also. And then I just hung this like that because I thought it looked, usually I try to hide them under this, but because I did this afterwards, I just left them on top. I didn't want to take apart anything. And then now just so you know, these, I don't know if you can see these, they look like stains, but it's actually glue, the hot glue gun. So, well, no, actually it wasn't the hot glue gun. I didn't use hot glue to adhere the doilies. I used liquid glue, my go-to no-sew fabric glue. And I don't know, I've never seen this before, so I'm wondering if it's because of the dye. It might be. Because I used a dyed doily, then maybe that's why it left these almost looks like stain marks. So I'll have to remember that in the future. But normally, whenever I dye, I'm sorry, whenever I put my doilies together, I use the no-sew fabric glue rather than the hot glue, only because the no-sew fabric glue you're supposed to be able to use, and not that I would ever wash one of these, but you're supposed to be able to wash it and it wouldn't come apart. That's the only reason why I use that, just to make it stronger. And then I forgot, the last thing I did was I put this little clock piece in here, and this was given to me by Carol Ann Kolka. And so that shows everything that I did to this wall hanging. And I'm just going to call this number 2 in my vintage series or Victorian series. I forget what I titled the first one a couple weeks ago, but I'll go back and check. But this will be number 2 in the series. And I'm also doing a shabby chic series. So you will see a few more wall hangings in the future. But they're going to be totally different, so hopefully you won't mind. So, okay, that's it. If you'd like, leave a comment and let me know what you think, and I will be back again soon with another project share. Bye for now.